Happy Earth Day, everyone. Also, happy 24th anniversary to Animal Kingdom. This is Jeremiah here in Disney's Animal Kingdom Live. And of course, in the studio, as always, is the one, the only, the. Wait, that's not Doobie.
Nope, it is Mac from LPHQ today.
What the hell's going on in this place? Hey, Mac, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you doing? How's life in Animal Kingdom right now?
It's pretty nice. It's not too busy, which I'm enjoying, but it's definitely it's a lot busier than last year at this time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I appreciate you doing the math for me and figuring out that this is the 24th anniversary of Animal Kingdom, so I didn't have to embarrass myself.
So my history with Animal Kingdom, I came here first, the October of '98. So I remember '98 because that was also when Fantasmic was supposed to open, but it didn't while I was here, and I'm very bitter about that. But anyway, and then for the 15th anniversary, it was right after I moved out here, and I was actually part of the parade, the Jungle, not Jingle, Jammin' Parade, as one of the people that sat on the float and waved the entire time. I didn't throw any beads or anything, but. And then, of course, 4 years ago was the 20th, and we were here for the special D23 event, our CEO and I. They're a little loud.
Yeah, looks like there's definitely a party going on for Earth Day right now.
It's a party for the planet.
In this roller coaster of movement with people, guys. Now, if you're having a good time, somebody say choo-choo!
Choo-choo!
Well, the party's not over yet. We will be back. You guys have just enough time to get a little.
So what about you?
Hello to Gio.
Hey, Gio. Thank you. Wish you were here. So we're going to walk by Kevin and Russell, but I know if I stop, I'm going to get yelled at because I already got my picture with them. And just Russell. Kevin must be out taking care of the babies.
Somebody lured her away with some chocolate, probably.
Kevin's a girl?
Hi, Peyton. And yes, 24th anniversary of Animal Kingdom. So what's going on there for Earth Day today, Jeremiah?
Nothing specifically today. Oh, well, hang on, we got some drummers coming. Let's get somebody in.
We are the Discovery Ice Drummers! Welcome to the world's most magical celebration! Hey!
She was not specifically pointing me out, and I was not the high-pitched squeals that just happened. So nothing specifically is going on today. This week is Earth Week, so they've had special desserts and a couple of characters out, which hopefully we'll be stopping by to see. So the last time I was here, I didn't pay enough attention. Maybe you've been here more recently. Is something missing, and has it been missing for a while?
So I definitely have not been there more recently. I haven't been there at all this year yet. So. It does feel like something's missing from this spot, though, doesn't it?
It was where the Finding Nemo sign was, which is why the bushes seem a bit awkward. So I'm guessing it's been gone longer than I've paid attention, because it seems like the plant life has grown in pretty well. But of course, oh no, it's right here. This is where it was. That's why they're the little shrubs.
There you go.
But, at least we got the announcement this morning. Finding Nemo in the Big Blue and Beyond opens this summer. You can go to laughingplace.com and see all the information along with a fun preview video.
Yeah, it says the fish will tell Nemo's story in the updated 25-minute show. So I will admit I never saw the old Nemo musical.
Okay, somebody else needs to take over this live stream for Mac, please. Anybody that's not in California right now? Okay. So Finding Nemo the musical was by far one of my favorite things when I come out here on vacation. It was, beautiful in air conditioning, and it was the Lo-Pi did the music for it, so it was very entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah, I did hear it had great music, but I always hear that a big selling point of this show was the air conditioning, and that's never a good sign.
No, the show was really good, as I'm sure
Yeah.
anybody that has seen it will back that up. It was a really fun show. The puppeteering was always amazing. I'll be very interested. One of the things they're touting is the giant video wall, which hopefully that means that they turn up the air conditioning because those things can heat up a room pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
To see how that plays. Oh, I also haven't been over here since they completed the work on the new rampways.
Oh, right.
That was just a giant wall last time I was here.
Yeah.
But I love Finding Nemo. The entire music, that I want to say was the first digital soundtrack that I bought from Disney. I think that was also the first digital one that they put out. But I somehow still ended up with I ended up with 3 CDs of it and the digital download. So
okay. A few comments I want to catch up on here. You can go search for that Finding Nemo sign in Finding Nemo. And then Kyle and Gio are backing me up a little bit here. Kyle says the show was overrated, and Gio says great show and music, just way too long.
Gio, that is said by somebody who does not live in Florida. There is never a time where 25 minutes in air conditioning is too long at all. So,
That's
Mac,
fair.
do you have any fun facts about Dinosaur?
Do I have any fun facts about Dinosaur? None that you can show without standing in a queue for a while and losing service. But yeah, so D23 actually shared some interesting facts about Animal Kingdom in honor of its anniversary, including the famous ketchup, mustard, and mayo pipes inside, which I'm sure you have more of a background on than I do.
Yes. So one of the other things they shared was this was originally Countdown to Extinction.
Yes.
Which this, along with Sleeping Beauty Castle, were precursors to a film. They didn't call it Dinosaur when it first opened because Dinosaur was still a little ways off. But when the most expensive film of the year 2000 was put out, which was Dinosaur, they renamed and rethemed this. Well, renamed. I guess they didn't really retheme anything. This Dinosaur, and it was originally sponsored by McDonald's, which is why when you're going down to the load station, you look to your left and you see the pipes that are ketchup, mustard, and mayo, which are the chemical, not the chemical. What am I trying to say, man?
Yeah, you're right. It's the chemical makeup of those 3 ingredients.
Yeah, which is always one of my favorite Easter eggs. And
yeah.
I can remember when it first, we first figured out, everybody's like, look how cool that is. And now it's one of those things where, you'll be walking and you'll hear a little kid give that fact to his parents. So it's like, okay, that's just even cooler. But yeah, this was one of the opening day attractions here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. This and the Dinosaur Jubilee, which was a giant air-conditioned tent. Again, we noticed a theme here, that you would walk in, and they were actually paired with the Chicago Field Museum, and they were not really excavating, but they were cleaning up the bones for Dinosaur, the most complete T-Rex at the time that's up at the front of this land. She was found in the Badlands of Utah, and Disney and the Chicago Field Museum had a bidding war for the bones. Chicago Field Museum, of course, won, but they were nice enough to give Disney the chance to clean the bones and excavate everything right here in the park, and then receive a full mold of Dinosaur for the front of the area. So that was one of the things I loved when I first came here, and that was pretty much where Dinoland USA, the Chester and Hester area was.
Gotcha.
But it was this really weird, like you had to walk almost this pathway, I think was the only way to get over there. You would go through the store, and then on the other side was a weird walkway because there was no Everest and there was no bridge. So it was just a dead end over here.
Man, can you picture that park without Everest in it anymore?
No, I look at my pictures of like the few times I came out when they were building it and just was like, really? That wasn't there? I mean, you think about it, Cali River Rapids wasn't here when it opened either. That was being worked on and you could hear the construction, but at that time it was Tiger River Run, I want to say was what it's called. Still one of my favorite shops.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites too. I always love just coming in here and looking around at all the detail and always noticing something new.
Yeah, the train was running the other day, which I hadn't seen in a while, so I got very excited about that. But then they also throw in all the fun vault stuff. There are the coasters.
Yep. I definitely picked up a set of those for myself. I had to jump on them. Oh, they have a lot of them. Look at that.
Yeah. They also have the retro cups and the mugs and the weird charger plates that I saw yesterday. We have an article about those. It's like, those are just the most random things to bring back. For those of you who hadn't seen, these are the coasters. And they represent the different tickets of the opening.
Which is awesome, but they're not really coasters. They're more like little trinket trays.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
So I don't really know what I'm doing with them just yet, but they were too cool not to pick up.
Yeah, and for $24, they're definitely very cool.
Yeah, exactly. So precious. Before we get too far away from Dinosaur, I want to bring up Kyle's comment here for you, Jeremiah. Popcorn or Chero, Dinosaur or Indy?
Indy! So I've had this conversation with friends, especially that come out from California, of, they get off and they're like, that seems very familiar. And then I can remember in the early days where people would say, oh, it's not the exact same. I was like, no, it is literally the exact same track. I mean, I can close my eyes, put on my headphones, play the soundtrack, and go, yep, right there. Yep. Actually, there are different pauses, but, one of the part that you can always tell exactly where you are is when you're going in front of the hadrosaur that, burps, and at least it's a vegetarian. That is the bridge in front of the skull. And then when you're going around by the pterodactyls, that's the snake area. And then you dive down underneath the pterodactyl, which originally, here's another fun fact about Dinosaur. When that attraction first opened, the static pterodactyl that you go underneath used to dive. Yeah. And it actually used to drop water on you.
Oh, I don't remember the water. I do remember it diving at you, and then riding it much later on. And when it stopped diving, I was like, "Am I crazy? Did I just imagine that?"
No, the water, which they never said exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be, the pterodactyl pooping on you. That didn't last very long. I mean, did you write it when the comet or the asteroid used to hit at the end before they put their Cartonosaurus head in there?
No, that wasn't me.
Yeah, that was because they wanted it to be kind of like Indy, and the whole thing was the comet was going to crash down and destroy all life. And they had it, and then it never got the full effect of Indy. It wasn't the rolling ball. It was still just a comet that came flying at you. And then they said, okay, that doesn't work. And then they put in the random head that doesn't make any sense at all. But
it's raining Carnosauruses, I guess.
Yes.
Comments, Ruby says happy birthday. Animal Kingdom. Gideon, of course, we know is a big dinosaur fan. Gideon, I love dinosaur too, but I still have to give a slight edge to Indy. Debbie wants to know how long will those posters be available. I don't think we have a specific time frame for them, but the vault collection has kind of been cycling through pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're once things sell out, they are not coming back. Like if you want something, find it. I know some of this stuff will show up on Shop Disney, but I know that there was some of the early stuff that has never returned. And I'm the bicentennial shirts. I may be getting one of those, and of course the Big Owl shirt that we also showcased in our article the other day. That'll definitely be bought. I'm a little sad there hasn't been more Country Bear merchandise, but hopefully.
What's all the noise going on around right now? Is this for kite tails?
No, it's just the drummers again. The kite tails will be starting in a little bit.
Gotcha. So it's the hype crew before kite tails.
Yeah, it looks like Jungle Book is the next kite tail. Okay. When does the kite tail show switch to the smaller version, as they didn't call it in the Disney Parks blog? I think it's the 27th of this month.
That's a good question. I will look into that.
Yeah, I know that it was changing, and they put out the Disney Parks blog, and we put up an article where instead of doing like the full shows like they're doing now, it's just going to be more of just the jet skiers flying around with the kites for every now and then throughout the day, which I always felt was what was needed for this show instead of a sit down for a 10-minute show.
Yeah, I've only watched Kite Tales a couple of times, and to be honest, I don't know that I will stop to watch it the whole thing again. I'll stop and look at it as I'm walking by, but I'm not going to actually, wait and get my seat and everything.
Yeah, it was one of those things that was fun for the people who hadn't seen it, mostly, sadly, to watch their faces when the kites came crashing down. Because as they say, what goes up must come down.
Kyle has an answer for us regarding Kite Tales. They didn't state officially. Rumors indicate end of May or early June. And he says the Walt Disney World site knows regular show times until June-ish.
I thought we did an article with some different date on there. I don't remember.
I'm not seeing anything, so I will. I'll take Kyle at his word there.
He knows probably best of all.
By the way, Kyle also wants to know if this isn't Doughboy and the Jerk. When it's me on here, is it what is it? Is it Mac Attack and the Jerk? Mac and Cheese? What do we think? I don't know why you're Cheese.
I know. Can I at least be G's, like in Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor? We can do Mac and the Jerk.
That does sound like an 80s sitcom.
Those wacky roommates, Mac and the Jerk. So Expedition Everest did just open up. Was that just last week?
Yeah. Wow.
we have a full video, brand new, just uploaded with a full ride through. You can clearly see the Disco Yeti doing nothing.
He's discoing in there.
Yeah, that was one of those rides. There are certain rides where I'm like, oh, I have no problem doing this, and I videoed this while holding on to my phone, and I was like, okay, that's one that I had to do it twice because the first time I was holding so tight, I stopped recording at one point because my hand slipped, and then the second time, I actually had a better view and a better seat. Thank you, single rider.
So here's some context for how long it's been since I've been to Animal Kingdom. I missed the entire Everest refurbishment. Last time I was there, it was still open.
Yeah, you need to come over here.
I have plans. I'll be out there on Sunday.
Everest line doesn't seem that long, actually.
It doesn't look too bad.
looks like it's a 40-minute wait. But if you want to go on it, I would say get in the line now, because once Kite Tails drops, it'll grow up to an hour.
Yeah, that's definitely something to keep in mind when you're planning your day at Animal Kingdom, because this whole area gets just flooded with people after Kite Tails.
Yeah, they went through, definitely did a lot of touch-up for the queue.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that small poster is still left. That usually is gone within hours of when they put it up.
It's funny though, because it's one of those cues that, you know, if you let it wear out, it almost just works with the theme better that way.
Yeah, I mean, look at these prayer flags. These have been here forever, and they're not supposed to remove prayer flags. What they are designed for is you put them up and they, deteriorate, and then they just, I don't want to say pass away, but they get to the point where instead of them replacing them, they have to let them just drop down to nothing. Ah, darn it. So it looks like the Yeti Sundae isn't here anymore. Okay, yes it is.
Sorry, Kyle points out Everest currently has Genie Plus availability at 2:10 p.m. So nice to see that, there's some availability for one of the biggest attractions in the park.
Especially that close.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're less than an hour away from that, so that's nice. Gio says, I'm surprised they didn't just add the hair ties to the Yeti. Would have been a nice style change.
At least they cleaned up the hair ties. That was the one thing that I made a point to call out.
Yeah. And then Todd points out Yak and Yeti had some okay food there.
Are y'all getting ice cream?
I actually love Yak and Yeti. That's one of those ones that I never, when it was being built, I was like, I'm not sure. And then when I finally made it there, I was like, yeah, that's some good food.
I am yet to eat at Yak and Yeti. I know it's high on my list for table service restaurants I need to get to. And I've been told is it the Wagyu burger, I believe, is one of the favorites on property. So,
as long as you get the fried wonton dessert, that is the best dessert on property.
You said fried wonton and dessert. I love all of those words.
Oh yeah, it is. Like for Yak and Yeti. Oh, hang on. Let's check if the hotel's open yet.
Oh, next season.
Oh, come on. What is this? Tron?
Who had Galactic Star Cruiser opening before the Yeti Hotel here?
For Yak and Yeti, you can actually go in and sit at the bar. The bar only accommodates, I think, 7 or 8 people. Mm-hmm. But you can go up there. 1, you can order the full menu, but 2, you can also just order the dessert. And
okay.
Yeah, it is coconut, fried wonton, and vanilla ice cream. And it's just so good.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. So, Yak and Yeti, like I said, high on my list of things I need to try. But there are so many Disney restaurants that I need to get to still.
Seriously, like, I would say Sunday you should do Yak and Yeti.
Possibly. Although I do want to point out too that for Earth Day right now, there are a lot of special food and beverage offerings. Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Is he building something? Where's he going with that?
I think he's just going out for a snack. I saw these people standing watching, and at first I thought it was the ducks and the ducklings that are over there. Then I looked up and I was like, oh, there he is. I don't know how well you can see, but there's a duck on the right, or more the center of the screen, and then the lower left down by the pond, there's ducklings. Again, we need a zoom on this.
It's duckling season at Walt Disney World right now.
Yes.
Yeah,
there is a ton of different food and drink offerings here. I know that there are definitely some drinks that I'm sure you're craving. The food offerings mostly are dessert, and thankfully I think in the past I've ended up eating almost each of the desserts that they have this year, so there's nothing that I'm like, wow, I must have that. the pink flamingo cupcake is always entertaining.
Oh, hang on, I came prepared. So here is that pink flamingo cupcake.
Yeah.
There's also this really awesome honeybee cupcake.
That one is a good one. I want to say that one started showing up, I want to say for the 20th. That was the first time they did that. And that, of course, is for the honeybees and how they help not only the world, but also help with the environment and protecting farms from elephants, because elephants, for some reason, avoid beehives.
Yeah, that's one of the fun details they give you on Kilimanjaro Safari, which is great. And I want to point out that the honeybee cupcake is orange cake, honey Bavarian filling, honey frosting, and a white chocolate honeycomb. So that's a unique cupcake. Usually it's a fairly simple, just loads of colorful icing on top of a vanilla cake. But I like that one's different.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, here's the one I want you to try, the loggerhead.
Yeah.
Which is just Sprite and Granny Smith apple syrup over ice with a gummy worm.
I believe that I had that last year or 2 years, and I'm still in a little bit of sugar shock from it.
I mean, yeah, it seems like it's that kind of.
So I know Doobie's watching, so I worked my way over to his favorite part.
Are you going to ride that today?
I know. I have to go to work after this.
I can't go full Doobie and make you ride it, so.
No, this is one I know that I did it once live, and I had the gimbal, and then halfway through, I couldn't turn the gimbal fast enough, and because it was spinning, just like with Popeyes, just hold the camera, don't try to gimbal it. But this is the best part. These poor people are like, oh, it's over, yay! And then us sadistic people over here with the buttons just press it to get them extra wet.
At this point, though, aren't you already just completely saturated with water? Does it even make a difference?
It's much like people that don't go on it because it's raining.
Yeah, Doobie, I'm coming for your job here. Oh, that was the end of it, though. The rest of it, I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants. So we're relying on Jeremiah.
We've only been doing this for 2 years almost, so.
Kyle says, I remember riding Collie for the first time and waiting for the second drop. I haven't ridden Collie in years. It's been a long time.
I prefer this over Grizzly River Run because there's actually some theming to this, but Grizzly River Run is a better track overall.
Okay. Grizzly River Run has never been open when I was there, so.
Yeah, that is one that, nope, it's closed.
Yeah.
That and Golden Zephyr, I think, are closed more than they're open in DCA.
Well, it doesn't help that 2 of my 3 Disneyland trips have been in February, and the other one I spent 14 straight hours in Avengers Campus. So.
Yeah. Oh, here's another. We got to do it for Doobie.
Love it.
I can remember when the parks reopened after everything, and that was one thing that they didn't reopen. They didn't turn the water effects back on. I was like, oh, this encourages people to kind of wash their hands. Shouldn't it be on?
Yeah, just add some soap next to it and you're good.
Yeah.
So there are lots of other special food and beverage offerings for Earth Day, and you can check out the full foodie guide on Laughing Place right now. If you're heading to Animal Kingdom, most of this is only available through the 28th, so you don't have a whole lot of time to get out and try it, but lots of interesting offerings.
At least it's not, you only have 5 more hours.
Yeah, it's not just today.
Yeah. Now I want Yak and Yeti. The chicken fried rice, if you get a full size, it will fill you up for the entire day. It is so good and just so basic.
I have had the quick service, like the Yak and Yeti quick service, and it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same. I need to get to the actual restaurant.
Sunday.
Yeah, possibly.
So Mac, do you know the story of the rocks over here?
The story of the rocks. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He was a professional wrestler.
No, rocks, not the rock.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I do not.
So we've never been able to confirm, but I always want to believe it is that one right there. That one right there I call Gideon. They are mystical rocks. I want to say that the story I was told, the Imagineer stated that they were fertility rocks. And I call that rock Gideon because I don't think I need to spell anything else out for you. No, but those rocks are very special to Rebecca and Doobie, and I guess Gideon, because that is one of those stories. I feel like Rebecca should write that story at some point.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So you haven't seen that they completely got rid of the up theme, and it's now just Feathered Friends in Flight.
No, I have not seen that.
Yeah, they still have the statues because, those were expensive statues. But it is just Feathered Friends in Flight now. There's been no word of bringing back the up theme, which I can understand because as somebody who saw the show a few times, it wasn't a great addition.
I never saw the up show either, so.
Yeah, the current show used to just be the training for the birds. So you would see it at random times, and then they expanded it to make it the full show. Now we're just going to sit here for a little bit. I know somewhere, and I believe it's over at the exit of It's Tough to Be a Bug. Gypsy Moth and Coda and Kenai are somewhere around here. So just for the Earth Day celebration, the week.
Yeah, I was just going to point out a comment from earlier. Here they have some really cool meet and greets in Animal Kingdom today for Earth Day. It says Neely loves life. Disney said that there were going to be some special character, the flotillas that go by. Have you noticed any different ones? We saw the drummers earlier, but
I've only seen the drummers.
Okay.
I will keep an ear out for them because those flotillas are almost as ingrained in my head as the princess cavalcades that they did at Epcot forever, that I would have to step off to the side of the walkway for an hour and a half before they came by. Because the cast was always like, nope, clear the way, horses.
We're going to need Doobie to rule on this one here. Kyle throws in, just fact, doesn't say fun fact, but one time Jeremiah and I ate at Planet Hollywood at LAX and he got fried rice.
Wow. That was what were we seeing, Kyle? It was a screening.
We have a ruling. It was fun.
I want to say that was for Rogue One. Kyle and I spent the day exploring Burbank and spent solo.
There you go.
Oh, that's right, because we enjoyed it and then nobody else did. Anybody that's ever been to Burbank, the Burbank Media Center and the Glendale Galleria, go there with Kyle. He has immense history of both of those shopping areas.
I mean, it's named after him. Just gonna put this up there to make you guys sit in my bad joke for a little bit. This is one of my favorite views in the park. This back area of the park here, looking through all the foliage at the Tree of Life.
So I'm guessing you never got a chance to walk the hidden path.
I have not.
Well, so when the parks were first opened, there were a lot of things that disappeared within, I want to say, the first year or two. This one actually lasted a while, I think mostly because nobody knew about it. And Joe Rohde talked about it often, how he wanted this to be a park that people explored, not just went from ride to ride, which essentially is what everybody is now, because this park is one of the most beautiful parks in the Walt Disney, I want to say almost in Disney parks. Disneyland Paris is still the most beautiful, but this is the most natural beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So this path right here, which for a long time was the smoking section, has been here since the park opened, and as you can tell, it's still here. Over here, this little entry, or this little gazebo where they had characters for the longest time. You can see, so there's rock work, no rock work. And no rock work here. I believe it was this one. So you used to be able to walk back along a path that they made it for people to explore. And then you would walk over the little stream up there, and there were stepping stones for guests to explore. And then you would come all the way over here. And then you would exit out over on this side. And it was just a small hidden path.
I love that.
It was
put a chance to experience that.
If you look at some of the opening day maps, there's this path and then there's a smaller path that shoots off of it. And it was one of those things that, again, because in '98, when this was opening, I would read just about anything that came out about the park. And it was talked about the hidden path. There was also the Gorilla Falls path when it was Gorilla Falls, before they changed it to the other name and they changed it back to Gorilla Falls. One of the pathways had a dead, not a real dead, but a dead animal with cheetah prints following it, because the cheetah had trapped its prey and had taken it and eaten it, or put it up in the tree to eat it later. That didn't last long.
Yeah, I could see that. That doesn't seem like something that would last very long.
So there are hidden Mickeys. There are other hidden characters. Have you ever seen the hidden Baloo?
I have not seen the hidden Baloo, no.
There's his head.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
His body. That could be a hidden Mickey, but the hidden Baloo is really the key for that.
Yeah.
And that was something they used to do a tour that was written by Joe Rohde and the Imagineers, that they would take you and show you the beauty and the hidden details of this park. Sadly, that also has gone way of the dodo, but I was lucky enough to experience that, and my retention of pointless facts always comes in handy.
Well, you pointed out that this park has some natural beauty, and Doobie wanted to say, just like Jeremiah.
No. So there's the Earth Day pin, but
oh, look at that.
yes, and look what the title is there underneath Captain Carter.
Yeah, Guardians of the Multiverse. Looks like you got the other Guardians on there, just kind of.
Yeah, in the shadows.
Yeah.
Oh, it's clear. So the Guardians in the background are like almost smoked glass on it, because the stars and stuff in the back are the actual backer part.
That is very cool. That's a really cool design. I'm wondering, I wonder if we're going to see Captain Carter anytime soon.
You mean like in a week and a half? or actually, I guess that's 2 weeks now. Wow. I would put money that we're going to see Captain Carter. I mean, she is on the billboard and in the trailer at some point.
Possibly.
Let's just turn this into Marvel talk now.
It's Wednesday, right? That's
yeah. It's Marvel talk in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Next time we do Epcot, we can have some Marvel talk.
Yes. I cannot wait for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That I feel like that movie is going to blow our minds.
Yep.
But anyway, back to the Harambe Market, which was added, after everything. This used to just be backstage area. And it looks like they've opened up at least, just looking, looks like they've opened up at least a few windows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
different since last time I was there.
Wasn't it closed last time you were here?
It might have been, yeah.
I don't think that they're ever going to go back to each individual window being a specific food.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see other windows open than just that first one.
Not to jump back to Marvel, but you got Zuri's Sweets to your left there.
Okay, and to totally plug my own little venture into the Marvel, I'm trying to take some of your weight off. Did you happen to read my Who is Isan piece?
I did, yes.
So there will be a couple more. That was the who, and then there will be the what and where. Do you know what my last entry could be called?
I'm going to guess why.
But it's going to be, why is Gamora?
I wasn't going to ruin your joke.
No, and that's, I wrote that specifically just for the nerdy thing. Like, I started writing just who is Isan, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn this into a 3-parter and then leave a 4th for the imagination.
Looks a little bit crowded back here. Are we looking at a long wait time for Kilimanjaro right now?
I'm going to head over there and see. I mean, definitely the corn is very popular. I've seen a handful of people already eating the fried corn. This smells so good in here.
Yeah, the
looks
smells
like
of Animal Kingdom are difficult to avoid.
55-minute wait for Kilimanjaro Safari.
Okay. Not too bad.
No. Something that I did not know until the Disney panel posted in their Instagram, which, again, I will show that I did not pay attention in December. Wild Africa Trek has been back since some point. They posted
I do remember that announcement.
Yeah, they posted in December that it was coming back. I don't know when it actually came back. But then I looked at the Disney panel Instagram, and they had some information about it. I was like, oh, wait, when did this? And then I went and looked, and they have like the full schedule going on. It's like, wow, I have really been missing out on this, because Wild Africa Trek is something I've only done once, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's been on our Disney bucket list for a while.
Yeah, it is expensive, $199, but the photos that you can take and the experiences and how close you get to the animals is really amazing. Do we have to be out at any time? Is there anything following us? I know it's Friday, so we don't have much going on. But
no, we don't. There's some exciting stuff happening on the West Coast, but that's not until much later tonight. So no hard out, as far as I'm aware, at least.
I'm sorry. What is this exciting thing going on the West Coast? We already saw the electric parade and the fireworks. Oh, hang on. I see the flotilla with the hyenas.
Hang on, I have a banner for you for your response there. There we go.
So the 3 hyenas from Lion King are out on a flotilla, which is kind of strange.
That's cool.
But
Yeah, that's different.
so we're gonna do a little bit of backtracking so we can go walk the path behind the Tree of Life, see if we can find any other rare characters, and then we'll head over and finish up in the newest area of Disney's Animal Kingdom, Pandora. Ooh.
Celebrate Earth Day on not Earth.
Yes. I really wish that we had the chance to do videos of Joe Rohde when he would be talking about how he was sold on Pandora, because originally he wasn't. The opening day of Aulani in Hawaii, he was told, "Oh, your next project's going to be Avatar," and he had no clue. Like, I think he'd not even seen it, so it wasn't something for him that was like, "Oh, this will be amazing." But when he started thinking about it, about the the environment and how really the humans came and messed everything up, just like here. And the stories that he could tell, that's when he really sold it. And the passion that he had for the project that, originally, I don't know about you, but I had no interest in a Pandora land. I'd never even seen the movie.
I was just going to say, I've still never seen all of Avatar. I've fallen asleep during it 3 times, but haven't watched the whole thing.
So my first time seeing it was on a plane, which not the best way to see, one of the highest grossing 3D films ever made.
Right.
Actually, one of the highest grossing films ever made. But I understand. I saw it on the plane. I was like, okay, that's okay. And then just before the land opened here, they showed it at the AMC at Disney Springs in 3D, and I went and saw it, and I was like, this is a beautiful film. I enjoy it more than Pocahontas and Fern Gully, but only because it's in 3D.
Yeah, no, I will say I wasn't super excited about Pandora when it was announced, but I did always think, this lends itself better to a theme park than it did the actual movie, because it was, let's be honest, the movie was really just for the visuals. It was definitely a beautiful movie, but so it just made itself a perfect setting for a theme park, especially, it transitions very well, leaving, Animal Kingdom and stepping into Pandora.
And they did such a great job with it. I still wish that Beastly Kingdom had been made, but Pandora is, let's face it, if they had done Beastly Kingdom, what IP would they have changed it to by now?
Right.
So everybody had just exited. It's tough to be a bug, so that's where we are now. The Adventures Outpost still is not open, so you cannot meet Mickey and Minnie here. But we're going to walk around the Tree of Life and then into Pandora.
As far as special characters go, all we've seen are the hyenas so far.
Correct. I have not seen Coda, Kenai, or Gypsy Moth from It's Tough to Be a Bug, which I feel like they should have some type of signage advertising where they may be. But if they did that, then there'd be an hour and a half wait.
Right. The trade-off.
Flame Tree Barbecue. That's always been my go-to.
I was just going to ask you what your go-to lunch was in Animal Kingdom.
The pulled pork and with the mac and cheese on there. I could do that.
Yeah,
especially if you can. Yeah,
and then you go out and you sit in that beautiful seating area back behind the restaurant.
exactly.
Looking across at Expedition Everest. That is just one of my favorite places in any Disney park.
Yeah, I have pictures of my first visits here when, long before there was kite tails and before they'd even finished Everest or even, the Cali River Rapids.
Wow.
Looking out that way. And it was just so peaceful. I mean, you think about this park when it opened, it had Dinosaur, the Boneyard, the Safari, Lion King, and the One Path. And it's tough to be a bug. I mean, the definition of a half-day park was this park. I mean, not that even with the new additions and the amazing nighttime displays here, it's still, it come later in the day if you want to see the night. But it is still a fun park. I could definitely walk around this park on the cooler days. On the warmer days, not so much.
Todd already agreed with us on the pulled pork mac and cheese. Gio says he also likes Flame Tree, but prefers Satuli only because he can get better barbecue whenever. Satuli is, I was going to say, my other. I go back and forth between Flame Tree and Satuli, and we are possibly thinking about going to Satuli on Sunday. We'll see.
And Pizza Safari used to be amazing when they had breakfast pizzas. But yeah, I will always go Flame Tree. Satuli is good, but the making the protein bowls, I always sit there and argue with myself for a little bit. But that is the second best dessert.
The second best dessert? Which one are we talking about?
The I can't say what I call it. The purple, the blue dessert.
Oh yes, yeah, the cheesecake dome thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you hear when Mike and I were doing the Star Cruiser, the bao buns that they have for the first dinner? On the kids menu, they actually have a cheeseburger bao bun.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it tastes better than the one at Satuli because there's not as much mustard in it.
Okay.
But I definitely, I sat there and said, okay, I'm totally going to do this, and I asked our server if I could have one, and they're like, of course. And they brought out two, and it's Star Cruiser is one of those ones where you could just eat your weight in the amazing food, and it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's just done well.
I mean, sometimes that's what's important. You just want the food to be good. It doesn't need to be crazy creative.
Yeah.
Don't lean over that with your phone.
What are we looking at over here?
So you can kind of see.
Yeah, it's kind of getting overgrown over there a little bit, but there he is.
That was the dragon rock that used to spout water out. When this was originally going to be Beastly Kingdom, that was one of the original designs, was a mythical land. So they had that rock dragon. And down there, you can see the rock work down there. That was the actual dragon's cave that if you were one of the lucky ones, or unlucky ones, who rode the Discovery River cruise the first few months when there would be a 3-hour wait for it, you would hear fire, you would hear the dragon, you would see fire, and even for a small amount of time, they had lances in the rockwork and in the water with dead knights on them.
Wow, I don't think I've ever seen that.
I've done deep dives into the early years of this. I was also lucky enough to find one of the few existing pictures of Big Red on the Kilimanjaro Safari when she didn't make it. Okay, let's see if
I was going to say,
is working.
Make sure you time it out right and run past here so you don't get wet. In the meantime, Kyle points out that his go-to is Chili Canteen because chicken rice is his, simple go-to meal. And then also going back to the Galactic Star Cruiser, says we ordered several kids menu items during our journey. Those bows, some waffle fries, and spring rolls. So it's nice to see that you have some simpler options.
Yeah, and they do their best. As I think it's well known that Mike C has some eating problems. Not that he can't get it to his mouth, he just can't eat certain items. And they were beyond accommodating for that. Like when I walked up to him the first day for breakfast, and they brought him out. It was about a dozen gluten-free waffles.
Oh wow!
And he's just like, I can't eat all of this. But
somebody in the kitchen was just excited that they had somebody who needed a gluten-free option.
Yes,
they were thrilled to be finally making those waffles.
I think either this attraction is down or... Oh, no. Okay. I want somebody to explain this to me. River Journey has a 75-minute wait.
Whoa.
But there is no line outside the queue. Like, you walk in through it. And I understand, lightning lane and everything, but 75 minutes from inside,
that seems to be overshooting it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Can you see how far back? Okay, it is like right there, it looks like.
Yeah, it's like you walk in and go to the left. So
yeah, no, I have waited outside, like well into that line that you were talking about would normally be there, and I only waited about a half hour. So this is that's probably considerably shorter than that right now. I want your opinion, because I don't think we've ever talked about this before, but what are your thoughts on Navi River Journey?
So I enjoy Navi River Journey. I think it is a nice, C, maybe B ticket it should say B, maybe C ticket at the highest.
Okay.
But, it suffers the problem of being next to one of the biggest attractions in Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So everybody goes expecting it, not a minute and a half boat ride with a really cool animatronic at the end.
Yeah.
What about you?
I am one of the few that actually really likes Navi River Journey. I think the animatronic alone makes it worth it. And I think you're right. I think it being next to Flight of Passage, and the fact that the theming is so well done that, you kind of don't know what to expect when you're getting in there. And if you're going to wait like an hour, you're probably going to expect a really exciting attraction, especially coming off of Flight of Passage. And it's not that. It's not that at all. But I think for what it's supposed to be, I think they nailed it.
Yeah, and going back to the rare times that I've had a chance to speak with Joe Rohde and Joe Rohde was the head Imagineer for Disney's Animal Kingdom and, of course, for Pandora. He talked about, in a small group setting, not a Disney event, about the River Journey and how it is the lower level of Flight of Passage. And as the attractions and as the building and as the land started coming about, they were given more budget for it. But they can't expand a building that's already built. So they just had to plus it inside. So everybody's like, oh, they could have made it longer. No, not really. I mean, you kind of have your restrictions in the building.
I don't know that it needs to be longer anyway.
No, if it's longer, I think it would need a lot more than just one animatronic and some cool effects.
Yeah. Now, Kyle points out that, he says when it works, it was in B mode last time we rode. Yeah, that's fair. If I waited an hour and the shaman wasn't shamaning, I would probably be disappointed.
Yeah, that is one of those ones that I will always go on it with people when I'm here. It's not one of those things of like when I walk in, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go do River Journey. But I always enjoy it when I have a reason to go on it. and I actually think I've gone on River Journey more than I've gone on Flight of Passage, just because.
Wait time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People will always go, oh,
So
45 minutes.
Hang out here for just a second. Just can you do a 180 for me real quick? Just because we were talking about Satu'li Canteen, I wanted to point out you got Satu'li up there on the right, and then up ahead. I have the right name? Pongu Pongu? Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, both of those, a couple of my go-tos, because Satu'li is delicious, and Pongu Pongu has one of my favorite beers you can get in a Disney park, which is the Grog Ale. I just had to do my my VP of alcohol duty.
Yeah, you had to get that in. No, I love Pongu Pongu. I'm from California, so boba for me is almost second nature. And I can remember when that opened, because it was that and Diagon Alley at Universal that were some of the first like boba drinks in theme parks out here. And I still to this day have friends like, I won't drink it because of those balls. And I was like, boba's amazing.
Yeah, I do like boba. But if I'm going over to Pongu Pongu, I'm grabbing the Grog Ale, the green beer that you can get. That, yeah, it looks like they just took a cup out to the water in the middle of Animal Kingdom and scooped some up, but it's delicious. So.
I completely forgot. We don't have to end it here in Pandora. We can walk over by Festival of the Lion King.
Yeah, there you go.
Which will shortly, hopefully, have the Tumble Monkeys back.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. That's exciting.
Yeah, they're coming back. That was part of the big entertainment announcement, was the Tumble Monkeys are coming back. And I think that was the same time when they announced Finding Nemo. But the Tumble Monkeys, you know, and I'm going to get on my little soapbox for a little bit. A lot of people are like, well, Disney's been so cheap and Disney hasn't done this and Disney hasn't done that. It's hard to hire people when there's nobody to hire.
Right.
And you think about trained people that their gymnastic backgrounds would be right for being a tumble monkey. That's a niche area, and a lot of them had moved on when the parks closed down here. And considering what it was, a year plus before the Lion King came back.
Yeah, you can't exactly go on ZipRecruiter and just search for Tumble Monkey.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Tiffin's?
I'm not a big fan of Tiffin's, and I don't really know why. I think it's more of just my limited palate of things I enjoy. It's the times I've eaten there, the food is amazing. The atmosphere is great, especially since it was previously just part of Pizza Fari. But the options to me, it was one of those things of like, this is the most beautiful restaurant that could be built here and everything's amazing. But I just look at it and go, yeah, there's nothing that really catches my eye. I'm not a big steak person, so that limits it. But I there's nothing wrong with it. That is one of those restaurants that when I do eat there, I go, wow, I should eat here more. And then I realize, wait, I shouldn't eat here more because there's nothing much for me to eat.
Yeah, I've only eaten there once, and it was during a media event, and they had a special menu for us. So I don't think I've even really had anything on the normal menu from Tiffin's. So it's another one on my list.
Yeah, Tiffin's is one of those ones that when they have, special events and you can do like a dining package for not Rivers of Light, but it's something good to use. See, right now would be the best time for one of these character flotillas to come by, but
never works out that way, does it?
There ain't nothing coming past here right now. Yeah, Tiffin's is one of those ones that makes me laugh because, the front room of Tiffin's used to be the back room of Pizza Fari, and they just rethemed it and built a kitchen add-on in the back.
Okay.
But they've done an amazing job with what they have and what they could add to make sure that there's more to do in this park. And I do feel like this is the definition of what Walt was talking about Disneyland, how it'll grow beautiful every day. The trees will continually grow. This is just the overflow queue for Festival Lion King, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're not going to take us into the club to wrap up the video?
We don't know anything about no club. These used to actually be active geysers that would go when the old Discovery River cruise went. So one last piece of history, and we'll wrap up here. The Discovery River cruise was designed to explore the parks from the different areas and to be a little bit of a preview of what's in the area. So there were 3 different load stations, and each of those would be like an hour and a half wait, even with the cast members out there telling people, you can only go from here to the next one, because it wasn't full trips. So if you got on up at the entrance, and I'll stall a little while longer, we have a flotilla coming by.
Oh, nice.
Of course, it's the drummers again. So if you got up at the entrance, you would see the Dragon's Cave with the fire for Beastly Kingdom. For Africa, you would see the active geysers, and then you'd go around and then you'd see Tree of Life. And then there wasn't an Asia, but when you got over to Dinoland USA, there was an Alidar animatronic in the water that would kind of be bouncing up and down and like trying to get the fish to tie in that it escaped from Countdown to Extinction, and it's out on the river right now.
Very cool.
And then they took out the animatronic because an animatronic in water and in sun didn't work that well. But they put in a lot of kinetic wind, I don't want to say chimes, but wind activity sculptures.
They didn't learn their lesson on the animatronic from just down the road 10 years earlier with golf.
No. Okay, so we have the drummers coming, and I don't know if you can see in the background, but there's another boat coming, another flotilla.
Okay.
We're gonna sit here and see what this boat is that's coming past.
Sounds like a perfect video.
Remember the boats for Jaws over at Universal?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is one of them. I think I know what the boat is. It looks like one of the cast members is out there and has cherry pickers, so they may be picking up trash along. Yes, they are. I just saw them pick up trash along.
Okay.
So it's not that exciting, but it is.
It's not like at least Timon and Pumbaa picked up trash.
Yeah, no. They should. And it looks like they're actually backing up. So we'll just come up here and maybe end up looking deep in the heart of Africa. I wish it would rain.
Yeah, that would be nice. So again, a happy Earth Day, everyone. Celebrating Earth Day here in Animal Kingdom for the 24th anniversary of the park as we get ready to wrap up our video here.
Make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell, share with your friends. Please share with your friends. We love you all, but we'd love lots more friends to join us too.
And of course, you can read all the latest Disney news on laughingplace.com. What else do we have coming up? Like I said earlier, we have some exciting stuff happening on the West Coast. Tonight, we had the return of Main Street Electrical Parade. We've also got World of Color. So I know Tony is the one person very excited about that. So there you go.
Pretty much. Okay, let's just end with this look here. You wrap up. I'm going to stand here.
Perfect. We also have tomorrow night the return of Disney Trivia Live. That is 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. That's PM. It's not a morning show. I don't think you get Doobie going a morning show.
I'm sure Gideon would, but not Doobie.
And according to, yes, I think you think you're right about that. And according to Kyle, there's a very special guest for Disney Trivia Live tomorrow. So that's exciting. So yeah, that's it going on for us right now. Jeremiah, anything else before we wrap up?
That's about it. I know next week we're probably going to be planning a walk and talk through Epcot because we're getting closer and closer to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. But stay tuned to all of our social media channels, and we'll let you know.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for leading us walk around Animal Kingdom, Jeremiah. And as Kyle says, happy birthday, Earth. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.